What up, YouTube? It's your boy Nasdaq Soldier. Back with another forward testing video. And yeah, right now, we running behind. Uh, it's 9:33, but it ain't too crazy. We usually start around 9. It was kind of a setup right there that set up for us. Uh, there was a setup coming through, but still, it wasn't official. This one right here probably was the more official one. It put a setup inside of a setup. The black going below the white. Right here again, the black going below the white right here. I got it marked up. And we'll go to the 1 minute. And kinda in this situation, it bounced up out of here. And then it went right back up in here to this furthest area, the last white candle. And they sellers came back in and it dropped. So that would be the ideal. That would have been the ideal trade to take. The ideal trade to take, following the momentum, the sellers coming in. That would have been, ideal. But yeah. Hold on. Yeah. If I mark, okay, nah, because that was the furthest level up there. Okay. So yeah, that would have been ideal to take. That was like that volume back up in here more than what it was yesterday. So that's 50 points right there. And basically this whole one candle damn near 50 points. So the volume back up in here, dropped. That's 100 right there. 150. Almost 200 points. But we finna sit around here, wait for another setup opportunity. We want to go for sales. We want to keep following sellers. So we want to wait till price come back up here somewhere and maybe roll back over. And we could catch sales going back down on this downtrend that is in. So I'll be back. All right, y'all. This the setup. This ain't nothing right here. This is the setup right here. The black going below this white candle. That's the setup. We below the 14. And all we would need is a pullback to this furthest area right here. Like we see, we in the overall downtrend. We would rather get into the downtrend as it's going, give us a setup as it's going. But now that it done crossed up here, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of tough. So what we would want to see, we'll mark up this last black candle right here. It's a 1 minute demand basically. Let's see if price react off this, come up here to our furthest area, then trickle back down instead of just selling straight back down without coming to our furthest area. Yeah, y'all was preoccupied, but this was it right here. This was it. Actually, like that was the setup. It didn't come all the way to this furthest area, but it came into this supply and it pushed up, wick down, tried to push up because it came to this demand I was just speaking about, and it pushed up out of here, but they couldn't come up out of here strong. Wick down, wick, and then if I show this candle right here, it wicked back off of here and went up, but then sellers came right back in strong right there. And that's an entry. Nigga just gotta be confident in taking it. Oh, and another thing is this trend line. I had the trend line right there. But since this was so strong, I felt like, that was a good entry, but really the trend line, when it broke the trend line right here. Like I had marked it up. I had the trend line marked up right here. But when I seen it push down right here, I was like, man, that looked like a good entry, because the momentum came right back in after it just act like it tried to come up right here with momentum off that wick. But then they just came back in strong right there. That's why I put it right there. But really, the trend line break is really more confirmation. And that would have been a 1-to-1 right there. Like it did, how I was just explaining it. It gave a setup on the 5-minute chart. It gave a setup right here that I just had marked up. It broke out of it. It came back into it. We go to the 1-minute chart. It came down, and I had marked up this demand, this 1-minute demand. I wanted them to react off this demand. It react off of it, pushed up, and then the momentum, like on this candle right here, this was the telltale candle right here. When it wicked up right here, I was expecting it to go ahead and push up. But since it didn't push up and topped out right here, and sellers came back in strong right here, that made me be like, okay, yeah, sellers finna come back in. And then they still didn't push up after it tapped right here, and then it broke that trend line right here. That was an entry right there. That was an entry. And that was the trade right there. That was the trade setup. And then we see we on this downtrend, So while we in a downtrend like this and momentum and price actually creating a setup in this downtrend, it's like we can't sit here and be worried about, these little 1-minute demand areas. Unless it come up and actually break through it, then that's a different story. But if it tapped down up in here, then it tapped in here, they pushed up out here, but then they couldn't actually push up, and then momentum come back in, that's some strong confirmation of like, oh yeah, the downtrend finna keep going. Like I marked up that demand just in case, I know buyers could come back in. But I seen, sellers coming in right there, then that trend line break confirmation right there. I was like, oh yeah. And it's only for quick scalps. It's only for 25 to 50 points. But since there's volume up in here, I got it marked at 50 points, for a 1-to-1. But all this is, like, this is a scalp setup on the 5-minute to the 1-minute. 5-minute setup, 1-minute entry. And it's just for a quick 25 to 50 points. And that's it. Just the quick move right there. When sellers or buyers coming right back in at a particular area. And actually, that was it. Like, that was the setup. Like, it gave a whole nother setup under this setup. You see this itty bitty white candle right here, then the black pushes down below it. That's a whole nother setup. And then again, it's under the 14 EMA, so it's just confirmation that sellers got the market under control. So, and it's like the more it stretched down, you want to be more cautious. I want to take that first setup that presented itself, because the more we following the trend down here, it could reverse. It then sold down so much and it created this setup. We want to take that first setup if it's giving it to us right, because with it selling down so much, buyers gotta come back in eventually, and you don't want to get caught in a reversal. So with this being another setup, and it just touched that the area, we'll draw our trend line like that. It's tapping into our furthest area on the other setup. But I like this one better because the trend line was going straight across like that. Where it could show, that clean momentum coming in, down like that. But with this line going straight up like this, it's like even if sellers come back in, it got room for buyers to take it right back up because the trend line is so straight up. This one sideways. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can see that momentum come in when it break, because it's, sideways. But with this one going straight up, it's like buyers could still come right back in because that line is so straight up. Like if you could look at it how I'm looking at it and see it how I'm seeing it, you could tell, you know. But uh that was the setup of the day right there for me. That was the setup of the day right there for me. So yeah. I mean, that was it. That was it. That was the setup I had drawn up. And price gave a good reaction for us to feel good about getting in. It was the first setup under the four. So first thing is the trend is on this downtrend. The second is the EMA is under the 14 EMA. And then the setup. We got the setup. It didn't pull all the way to our furthest area. So that's why on the 1 minute we just got confirmations. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a supply. So since this is a supply area, usually I would want it to come to the furthest area. But this is a supply area, so we know sellers can come back in at any time. And then we got our trend line for confirmation, to be able to enter the trade. Because like if buyers want to take it back up, then why is it breaking this trend line? You know what I'm saying? It should just be trending up instead of, staying stuck on a downtrend. So this would be good film for me to come back and look at. I liked it, that trade. That was a nice trade. No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? That was a good forward trade, but off me looking for everything that I'm looking for, you know what I'm saying? I just got to be confident in taking my setups like that, Which that's all I'll be looking for. Only my setups. I don't be looking for nothing else. We're gonna do this. We just want to be on point, doing what we're supposed to do, how we supposed to do it. Because I hate that it's taking so long for me to, get on track. Like, even with me just messing up, like I took a good setup the other day ago when I started back trading. But I messed it up by trying to add, doing too much. And now I'm not able to take trades. I got a forward test the whole week because I ain't trying to reset the account right now like I could. You know what I'm saying? I was even thinking about it. But I feel like it ain't no rush, you know what I'm saying? I don't deserve to be able, because like, it's just stupid. Like, I didn't trade for 2 weeks, but then I come and just trade at the wrong time and then do stupid shit within that time. Like, it was a good trade if I would have just let it play from the first one that I took and just let it play it out. But I don't know. I guess I'm used to volume actually just going 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to my target instead of me sitting up in chop action until it finally go and then make me, do some dumb stuff. So that's why I need to stay within my time until I get this mastered and then look to do other stuff. But I need to get this specific time mastered and down before I just be doing other stuff, which I know that, but I hate that it's taking me so long just to get my stuff together. But yeah, I would've took that one trade and sure, it's time to get off the charts. Ain't no sense in doing anything else. Just be one and done. So yeah, that's NASDAQ Soldier. And I'm out.